Welcome back, everyone. If you haven't already, like and subscribe. And today we are getting into Wendy Osefo and the fraud that she is all wrapped up in. I cannot believe what's been going on.
Yeah, it's not looking good for her. And it's definitely like this season, she's so talking about all the money they're spending and all the money they're giving out and how well they're doing and all this stuff. Yeah. And it just lines up perfectly with them getting all this fraud money. And it's like...
Well, not only her, but the mom too, saying,
the mom's going
give me
nuts.
my allowance and give me this and look at my body and look at what money has
look
done for me.
Yeah.
All of them are very self-obsessed. And then while they're finishing up their downstairs renovation, Wendy's like, what's next?
Yeah.
Pool or the full upstairs?
She's thinking, I'm going to make another claim. We're going to get another $500,000 to spend.
Of course she is. And I thought Eddie was going to be a little bit of voice of reason, be like, babe, we're not even done with the first one, but he immediately goes, I'm in for the pool.
Yeah, they're
and
both
I'm like,
just
these
like
people, they're totally just thinking, where's our next fraud gonna come from?
And knowing like the emails they have from like all the evidence so far, like knowing that while you're watching the show, it makes like a huge difference of you're like, they totally thought we're getting away with this. This is like, we're going to get rich on this.
So if you didn't know, in the police report, it says specifically that Wendy and Eddie were emailing back and forth about the fraud and what to claim and how much, because they needed to get it up to $450,000.
Conveniently the price of the remodel. No, I mean, who knows if that's the price of the remodel, but just that, like that intention, they're like, hey, send me more stuff so I can lie to the insurance company and get a bigger check,
So the police report was very damning, and they have now come out that the Osefo'S are in crippling debt and have been for a while. And
it's getting weird. Like when it all broke, it all just seemed like the insurance fraud, going at first. But then with the debt coming out, it's like all this credit card debt, and it's credit cards in alias names that aren't even their names. So it's
67 credit cards in aliases or their business.
Yeah, who knows if all of them are an alias, but definitely some are. So they're like, there's a little credit card fraud going on to fund all this stuff too now, like running up these cards, not paying them.
Yeah, they were using the names Pam Oliver and Eddie Hennessy on these credit cards and loans.
Which is crazy.
I've also heard the books for Happy Eddie are all
they're
padded.
Picking the books to raise money, to bring in capital or whatever,
Yeah, I hear it's all smoke and mirrors, which is so sad. You just wanted it to be all true, that this all just came from their hard work, all of her accolades, because mind you, Wendy has 4 degrees.
Well, that's what
she has never let us not remember that.
Well, that's what I was gonna say. Like, there's an element of like, I'm a little not surprised, because she's always has been so arrogant of, I'm the best person in the room, I'm the smartest person in the room because I have 4 degrees, I'm a freaking genius, I'm more successful than ever. Just has that air like she literally thinks she's better than everyone.
Yeah.
Like, and not even in a self-development, I want to be the best I can be. Like in a purely like, I am better than y'all.
Her ego is her downfall.
And you see it in the email exchanges of the fraud and in the claims and how they're talking to police, that they're literally like, y'all are all stupid. We're just going to get checks for $500,000 and go remodel the pool, like.
And Eddie is a lawyer. Now, he hasn't practiced law in about 5 years, but he is a lawyer, and he could lose that license based on these charges.
Both of them, and both of them, always bragging about how smart they are. They're smart enough to know what they're doing is straight up fraud and criminal, and just the opposite of everything she's always talking about. She is,
Yeah. And, when we saw her on Real Housewives, she was resigning from teaching and sent in that email saying, I'm not teaching anymore.
Yeah.
Well, now she just got fired from her teaching position at a college. So really, she was resigning just from that job.
Like, she sent that email to herself.
Yeah, no, I think what happened is she resigned from that college just to go get a job at a different college.
Yeah,
but she made it all seem to us that she was resigning from teaching in general because she made it a
she
big deal
pitched it
because she went and told her mom, and she was like, my mom's not going to be happy and all that. She wasn't leaving teaching. She was changing from one college to a different.
Yeah.
Like, this shouldn't have been this huge storyline. Like, a lot of things that she does is so fabricated.
But remember, the whole reason she did all that is because she was like starting her talk show or whatever.
Yeah.
But it's like, who knows what's happened with that? And it's just crazy. But like, so on some level, I'm not too surprised that it's just not what she portrays it.
Yeah.
Because she is trying to sell it so hard.
Yeah.
That she's so smart and a genius and the best and the whatever, like, and when somebody is selling that hard, you're like, this is a load of crap.
Something's weird.
Like, results speak for themselves.
Right.
You don't need to sell anything if you're really good at something,
right.
like.
Right. Well, the police findings were just, as I said before, shocking. So there, the Osefo'S claimed when they went on vacation, someone broke into their upstairs bathroom window, came into the master, and stole a lot of Wendy's, upstairs
jewelry and all bags and shoes and all that kind of stuff.
Upscale goods that were worth a lot of money. Now, the police found that there was no forced entry at the home. So when they went to the back of the house where the entry point supposedly was, there was no ladder leaning, there was no footprints or any
coming in the window. There, like, roofs, it's like gravel on top of all of them. None of that tracking in. And when the police went out to look at the roof and came back in, it tracked a ton in. So they're like, how would somebody do that? And there's none in here.
Right. Like, something's just not adding up. And then numerous items were returned to stores for full refund before the alleged burglary, even though they were claimed on the insurance.
Which
as stolen.
She ain't the only housewife doing that. They're all buying stuff to wear it, acting like they own it, and they take it back as soon as they're done filming. Kind of thing.
Yeah. Wendy Osefo was also photographed wearing a $4,500 diamond anniversary ring that was part of the reported theft.
That just shows you like the arrogance of it all. Like, you think if they were gonna do that, like, it'd be like, okay, definitely make sure we're not posting all the crap we just claimed as stolen and got a big check for. But they just literally, you can tell, thought, this will never catch us. We're so smart. Between us, we have 5 degrees. There's no way they're going to catch us.
Either that or they took too many of those Happy Eddie gummies, because this was the poorest planned fraud I've ever seen in my life. They
self-documented the whole thing in their emails,
And that's my next point. Emails showed Eddie and Wendy, or Eddie asking Wendy if they could add more high-value items to exceed the insurance limit.
This
is all crazy. In emails back and forth. Now, I think a very interesting thing that has been brought up is, why would he be emailing her when they live in the same home, they go to bed in the same bed? People are speculating that they were on the brink of divorce, and that is why he is contacting her through email and not just talking to her at home.
I think they're just so arrogant. I'm sure she was busy doing stuff or whatever, like, I think they're just so arrogant. They just thought, this will never catch us.
Yeah.
We can just do whatever we want.
That's true.
Nobody will ever look into this.
So the charges, a grand jury indicted them on multiple counts, including felony insurance fraud and making false statements to police.
And like, when they did the claims, they claimed them to like 3 companies at the same time, which you can't do. It's the whole thing. It's like maximal fraud on every part they could have frauded it on. It's not just like, oh, maybe they overstated one little thing. Anybody could overstate one thing. It's like so calculated, so planned, so just like in your face.
Yeah. They were arrested in October 2025. And I remember when this happened, it was like,
this is crazy. It was like,
oh
what?
My God. Like, this must be like, something's not right. Like, this must be wrong. Not Wendy. Are you kidding me? Miss 4 degrees?
Yeah.
But they were released on bond with their legal team preparing for court proceedings and denying any wrongdoing. And at BravoCon, she was asked relentlessly about all of this fraud, and she stood strong and denied everything and said that she will be telling her truth one day. And I think that she'll probably have to tell it in court if she's going to be on stand.
Yeah, I don't know what is up with these housewives. They're literally dead to rights guilty, and they're like, no, you're going to hear my truth. Just like Karen with her DWI, just like Jen with the fraud, just like Teresa with the mortgage shit. Oh, she went to jail too. You know, it's like they're so just arrogant and persistent that it's crazy. It's like, what is wrong with y'all?
It is crazy. So their trial is set for April 2026. And the most recent activity is a hearing that was held in mid-December in 2025. And the court ordered that the judge ruled that they provide 8 years of financial records.
That's what I'm saying. This is going to unwind a whole huge thing where they're probably going to find a ton more fraud, you know, and it is not going to look good.
Yeah, it's not. I think that this is going to be a nail in the coffin. I see that they'll probably, I would think, serve some type of jail time.
I mean, or get ordered like a massive restitution they have to pay or something, you know, like because who knows when they look back in 8 years of records, what all they'll uncover of what other shenanigans they have going on with other types of loans, other types of dealings they've been up to, you know.
Oh, it's not looking good. And, you know, in all, the people that suffer the most are their 3 children. They have 2 boys and 1 daughter. And it's going to be really devastating to see the impact of this, you know, when it's all over.
And it's just so frustrating, like, because so many times on that show, she's talking to those kids, you know, and if you go get a degree, well, first she's like, all y'all must get 2 degrees, 3 degrees. Everybody needs to rack up $200,000 of college debt.
Otherwise, they don't get their inheritance.
But there's not going to be any because they're committing fraud for the money, you know. And she's just telling them to go into debt, saying, you can have everything you want if you just go get all these degrees and take out all this debt like we did. And in reality, they can't get what they want. They have to commit fraud to try to get what they want. Like, instead, her ego is so big, instead of admitting, like, yeah, you probably didn't need any of these, you know, kind of thing. Like,
it shows crazy. Even though you have all of that, you still are committing
those
fraud.
Don't guarantee anything.
Yeah,
like,
it doesn't guarantee
you can go get the 4 degrees. And you're still going to come out and you still need to figure out the degrees are not going to give you anything where you're just going to go print cash.
Yeah.
You know, like that's just not how the world works.
Right.
So that's how she's telling them it works.
Yeah.
And then now it's come out, oh, they're actually committing fraud to make it work like that, you know, and the kids are just like, y'all are so full of it.
I know. I can't imagine how confusing that would be at these young ages. I think they're like
full of crap.
Anywhere from 9 to 13 age range. Yeah. So very impressionable time. I am sure from seeing this last episode with her mom, how she reacted by Wendy talking to her dad and her mom just scolding her. I can't even imagine her mom's reaction to the fraud news and her, what was it, $600 a month or $600 a week allowance being taken away.
That's going bye-bye. And you know she went insane, I bet. After seeing how she reacted on that last episode, you know she went totally nuclear, was probably going crazy, man. Yeah. Like crazy. I
mean, she was screaming, yelling, scolding her. Wendy, of course, was like, kids, hold on, mom. Kids, you need to leave. Kids, you need to leave.
You need to shut the up, Wendy.
Yeah, you know, like she was letting her have it because
crazy.
Wendy contacted her dad and was acting like things were kind of all perfect with her dad, even though she hadn't spoken to her dad for 20 years or seen him. And it just really hit a chord with her mom. And I agree with what her mom's saying. Like, he's not this perfect guy. Her mom was right.
Her reaction was totally wrong.
But the reaction is what made it so wrong and really hard to watch.
Yeah, for sure.
So I'm sure Wendy's world is kind of unraveling now since it's January. You know, things are coming up in April.
Yeah, it's going to get crazy, I bet.
I don't know what you can do or say to make this proof like make any sense. You know?
I mean, for them, like the die has been cast.
Yeah.
You know, like they already filed with multiple companies. You can't say, I didn't know I was filing it 3 times trying to get all of them to pay me for the same. It's like, no, you obviously knew that's what you know, like I don't see any way of them weaseling out of this.
That, and then on top of that, the 67 credit cards and alias names and business names. Like, it's just...
And you only hope they have not taken cards out in their kids' names and ran those up. Because people do that, dude. Yeah. They'll go take them out in their kids' names, run them up like crazy, never pay them. And then
by the time they're 18...
One day the kid's 18, he's like, what? I owe Citi $50,000. Like, and it's been accruing interest for 10 years. What the heck? You know? Like,
it's really weird that parents can do that and that there's no laws protecting the children. Yeah. Or at least none that I'm aware of.
Yeah. You think if they're under 18, they couldn't be liable for the debt. It would always be their guardian at the time the loan was issued is ultimately liable. You know,
like whoever took out the card or whatever. It's going to be really devastating to see. And it's, I mean, we'll definitely keep everyone updated in April 2026 because it's just right around the corner.
Yeah, it's going to be crazy.
So like and subscribe for more and let us know your thoughts in the comments.